Introduction to the SPARKS Conceptual Framework for Gamified E-Learning Programs. The SPARKS Conceptual Framework is a reference structure that can be used to plan a gamified course or single learning experience. The framework uses an iterative and incremental approach. Incremental, as the design process is split into small and more manageable chunks, known as increments. Each increment builds on the previous version so that improvements can be made step by step. Iterative, since the course design activities are repeated systematically in loops, known as iterations. A new version of the framework is produced after each iteration until the optimal model is achieved. The Conceptual Framework for Gamified E-Learning Programs was developed by the SPARKS project consortium in 6 main phases. 1. Data collection and analysis. 2. Pattern identification and analysis. 3. Categorization of the target groups. 4. Analysis of the target group's needs. 5. Development. 6. Validation. More than 140 experts were involved in the development process of this framework. Phase 1. Data collection and analysis. The first stage of the data gathering and analysis process was implemented in the SPARKS project design phase. Exploratory research was carried out by the project promoters to map and select data sources to support the high-level definition of the framework. Phase 2. Pattern identification and analysis. The project team researched, identified, and analyzed the patterns in applying game elements to the successful online learning experiences identified in the best practices collected. Phase 3. Categorization of the target groups. An analysis of the national VT systems of the countries involved was carried out to identify a shared categorization of the groups of learners to be targeted by the framework's implementation. Phase 4. Analysis of the target group's needs. An analysis of the characteristics, needs and challenges of the different target groups was developed around the experimental inputs and needs gathered within the focus groups implemented. Phase 5. Development. A reassessment of the patterns of game elements identified in the best practices analyzed concerning the target group's needs, to develop the conceptual structure to design gameful learning experiences that address the challenges learners face in the different stages of online learning. Phase 6. Validation. The framework was validated through a survey addressed to 138 VET teachers and trainers from the 6 participating countries. The framework is divided into 8 conceptual blocks, representing the 8 key phases of the iterative and incremental design process. Each phase is articulated in multiple actions associated with combinations of game elements that allow you to build a complete gamified learning program. Now that you know more about the SPARKS Conceptual Framework for Gamified E-Learning Programs, you can join for free the SPARKS online platform to create your own gamified learning program or course, and access detailed information on the SPARKS Conceptual Framework at www.projectsparks.eu.